What's going on, Virgo? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, I had to switch things up a little bit, but that does not take away from the fact that I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your shares. You are keeping this channel growing, because, and this guy needs an adult. For those of you who are new, ignore that. I'm totally an adult, and I'm glad your higher self has brought you here. You are in for an interesting journey. Let's say that. Um, moving on. What I'm gonna be doing this week is a tarot card reading for the week of October 30th through November 5th. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, okay? So, with all that being said, let's get started. Clenched your space, made some new friends over the weekend, so it's a whole party. Now, I'm going to be pulling 15 cards. They're going to be in 5 groups of 3. The middle group is going to represent the nature of your problem. The upper left and upper right hand corners are going to be some future outcomes you might be considering. The bottom left will be whatever or some perspectives you might be thinking about in relationship to the nature of the problem. And then finally, the bottom right will be whatever messages your higher self would like you to know. And in case you all were curious, I'm using Aleister Crowley's Thoth deck. The imagery on these cards are really cool, so I'll make sure to show you those all throughout. But without further ado, higher self, what do we have in store for Virgo this week? Let me get your cards pulled, and we'll get into it. Okay. The plus side, for those of you who have returned, who've seen some of these, I do have a lot more space to work with, so who knows? This might become the norm. We're still tweaking it. It's all part of the journey. Bam. All right. Let me get some of these cards organized, and then we'll get to it. Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Alrighty. I'm with it, Virgo. So, for the nature of your problem, pulled the Lovers. And then the cards that came along with it are the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Disc. So, with the nature of your problem being the Lovers, let me start with, the obvious one in the room. The Lovers can represent love. It's in classic tarot. That's usually been the Lovers jam. But in this deck, I like the meaning of the Lovers here. The Lovers can mean, and I feel like in this instance, I feel like you're looking to be inspired this week. We're looking for things that call upon our creative side. That really dig into that imagination, that intuition, that innovation. I feel like it's you're really trying to get into a more creative space this week. Or this could be something that's been going on for a while that you've been thinking about. Something that you just been drawn naturally to, that you want to make become a part of your everyday. Something that gets you out of bed every morning, where that you're excited that even when you got camera things going on or what have you, you're still excited, you're still inspired. It's just like, okay, well, what creative ways can I make this work for me? Oh, okay, looks like we'll just have a whole spread, because you're creative, Virgo. You are imaginative, you are intuitive. And also, I like to feel that this is when this card pops up, especially, and I won't say especially as the nature of your problem, but really just in general, I like to feel like, I like to think, I just like to feel sometimes, but I also like to think that this is your higher self trying to reach out to you too. Just like something to, maybe we've gotten a little detached from our adult upstairs, because our higher self has got our best intentions at heart. But sometimes with all the life things and whatnot, we can get bogged down with bills, with work, with all those things that just kind of take away from the funness that can be life. And I do feel like for some of you this week, we're trying to get that back. We want to find that thing that's going to make us inspired, that's going to get us that excitement and get that fulfillment again. And here comes, so you remember all that frustration and stuff? Because here it comes. Five of Wands. So to start off with the Five of Wands, this is my card kind of a frustration. You have this energy that you want to do, you have these ideas, but we're not quite sure where to channel it. Because with the Five of Wands, this is a card of strife. This is a card of, maybe we're having some like kind of internal struggles. It's a quarreling card. So it could be maybe you're trying to get like bounces ideas off some people. Maybe it hasn't been well received. Maybe it's not like you're getting the things of, well, is this going to support you? How are you going to do this? How are you going to do that? How, all the things that are just trying to just, really stifle this creative energy. And that's frustrating. That when you get enough, especially when in combination, let's say if it's your outside, your surroundings, the people you're bouncing it off with, and some of the internal stuff with yourself. Because when you hear that all the time, it's hard to keep that inspiration, because it's like, well, maybe this isn't what I'm supposed to be doing. What if this happens? What if that happens? What if blah, blah, blah? What if X, Y, Z? Let me tell you, Virgo, things are always going to happen. Life is constantly happening, but the nice thing is, how we react to it and how we deal with it. It really is going to kind of shape this whole thing, because you could just let this be the tone right here. Just take this Five of Wands and just spread it all over this and we could just be in frustration town, frustration city, Worryville. Name a population of really moving on, because I don't know where that analogy is going, but I do know where that is going. Where this Five of Wands spread all over this here, that's not going to be good. That's not going to get you in the best headspace that you need to be to get here. And then you couple that with some Five of Disc energy here, man. This is why, I think this is why we picked up some more friends along the way, because your support system is strong, Virgo. We want you to achieve things. And with this here, the Five of Disc is that card of worry. Maybe it's, well, like how I was saying, with whatever this, let's say you got this idea, whatever this inspired thing is, that's got you really excited, really geeked up. But let's say you're not sure how you're going to make it work for you as far as like financially, or maybe, how can you carve out the time between, you want to make this full-time thing, but you don't, we still got to keep our responsibility. So trying to find that balance. And with the Five of Disc, this is a card too, specifically it can be a card of monetary anxiety, really just anxiety in general, poverty, just all of those fears of what ifs, and that, this is what a pair these two are, I tell you. They come in hand, skipping all over this, talking about la la la. We don't want any dreams to happen. Well, the beautiful thing is, Virgo, they want all the dreams to happen. Because for those of you who are new to this, you'll know that I call these negative cards. These are my mindfulness cards. These are weaknesses waiting to be discovered as strengths. Strengths covered, strengths in disguise, but right now we're calling them weaknesses. Because really when you think about this energy here, if you're doing your thing that you love, that really gets you inspired, that gets you excited, this stuff really starts to diminish. Because I challenge you with whatever you're thinking about, with those what ifs, if that's where some of you are at. What if this doesn't happen? What if this doesn't happen? What if I can't succeed? What if I fail, Justin? Well, let me ask you, what if you succeed? What if everything goes according to plan? Or what if when these hiccups pop up, you handle them like a champ? What if my camera went down, my main face camera went down. Look at what we did. Had to switch things up a little bit. And if anything, we got a little bit better view. I almost kind of like the intro. You make it work for you, Virgo. That's how life works. Because see, now all that worry, that strife, because I was like, crap, am I gonna have to skip this week? And I'm promise I'm bouncing between you and I so that you can understand. But it's one of those things. I totally could have made this, like I said, they could have totally skipped across my day, and it would have put me behind. but got to make it work for you. And that's what I feel like a lot of you are doing this week. you know Tap into that creativity, get to that imagination, that imaginative state, because we all have it in us. And make this situation work for you. It may not be ideal at the time, but as long as we're taking steps to get there, it doesn't have to be perfect right off the bat. Perfection is the end game. Don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And that's not to say that you don't have to strive to be the best. I get wanting to be the best. I am a perfectionist as well. But sometimes it can get in the way of things. It can really kind of deter our path if we get too caught up with the options. If you have to, the only way to anticipate these five of this five of wands type of energy is to just go out and do it. See what happens, see what challenges are going to come up for you, because there are going to be some things coming out of left field too. You may think you have, okay, I know, I got a clear view, I know exactly what's going to happen. Nope. And then life, it's like, here you go. Okay. But yeah, that's what I'm feeling. So I won't stay in this too much longer. I'll try to yeah, let's go ahead and move on to some future options. You know what? Let's talk about this. This devil's over here looking at me. So, and don't be afraid. I love when the devil pops up, because we got our good buddy here, and then came along with the four of disc and the six of swords. So with the devil card, I feel like the devil is representing this energy right here. Normally, the devil is about, and this could apply to, take it as it resonates, but the devil in general kind of covers like intoxication, blind impulse, addiction, anything that's really kind of things that have gotten out of hand, and the devil's just like, hey, what are we doing? This is you've been having fun in Five of Discville, Five of Wand City, but what's purpose is that actually serving you? Is this catering to? Are we getting to that creative state in here, or are we just wallowing in this? Are we blaming the devil when it's showing us that we're being in these states, or are we using some of the more positive aspects of the devil? Because the devil can also represent us. It can represent strength, because it takes strength to have to deal with any sort of things that we're battling that we consider addictions. And it's not necessarily just with like alcohol, drugs, sex. It can be with negative mentalities. It can be with wanting everything to be absolutely perfect and not getting anything done. Constantly talking about, I'm going to one day I'm going to get this inspired thing, and it's going to be the greatest thing that anyone's ever seen. But if we're sitting in here in that perfectionist state, not doing anything, then that's all it is. The lovers is just sitting here waiting to be loved, waiting to get for someone to show it that excitement. And I feel like with this devil here popping up, this is asking you to show strength, to power through this stuff, to remember that you are stronger than this, that your love for whatever it is you're getting ready to pour your energy to definitely trumps this five of wands, five of disc energy. Absolutely. And I feel like that's perfect leading into this four of disc, because then once you've realized that strength, and you've practiced that endurance, because this kind of stuff, these strengths in disguise, they require strength from you to tap into that, because it is shining a light on somewhere where it might, when we dig into these things that make us frustrated or that make us worried, it can bring us down. But if we get that strength, keep going, keep that momentum, we can get to this four of disc energy where we have our power, where we have our stability, our foundation again. This card is about that gain, that power, that authority, just getting some control back in your life. That's four of disc all day, day. And I like that these two came together, because I do feel like once you have come to that realization, you're going to get to that space, and then you can get to focusing on this goal. Because with the six of wands, or excuse me, six of swords, this is a sword. It's not just a sword; it's six of them. But this is a card of of now it says science down here, and it applies to science is like maybe where you're getting ready to channel this love is a real niche thing. You know, you're trying to find it's directed knowledge. You know, maybe it's not something that maybe you're not getting the excitement that people that you want from people because maybe it's just something that you find fascinating. You know, maybe you're like oh, I don't have the word for it, an entomologist, someone who studies bugs. Let's say, for example, I know we're crazy analogy, but stay with me. Maybe it's, you know, that's like your jam. You know, you love insects, you love all the things they can do, you know, all the different traits, and you want to share that with other people. And you're trying to you're trying to figure out how to share that in a way that it's digestible for everyone. And how creative would that be? If that's the case, that's only going to resonate with like five of you. And I feel like I'm really highballing it. But, you know, this card can also be a card of peace, you know, like coming to that balanced state again. Because what better balance than if you find something that you want to do, like, you know, that you want to do and that you're really passionate. You get up every day and you're like, yes, Justin, this is the thing. I'm gonna go tell everybody about all the bugs. Again, this is only gonna resonate with a few. You know, whatever this inspiration is, go out and get it, Virgo, because it is there for you. It is there for the taking. You know what? If you don't believe me, let me show you. Because on this other side of this future here, we have the Ace of Cups, the Four of Wands, and the 10 of disc. I can totally count. Ace of Cups. What better? This is the aces are the root of the power of whatever element they represent. So with this being cups, this is a representation of water, and this card meaning is for it can be for fertility. So if we're doing a different kind of loving, we could be expecting some. I've been getting a lot of like Princess of Disc have been popping up too, but it can be a very fertile season. So if that's what we're going for, go for it. But otherwise, this is a card of beauty, of abundance, of love, and I mean abundance in the sense of just like what is getting you fulfilled. You know, the cups have to deal with emotional matters, and this is what we're looking for. Because if you take this love and this creativity and then channel all that into this ace of cups here, what's going to happen is exactly this big explosion of fulfillment, of inspiration, of love, of all these things that you've wanted in your life. That's what the Ace of Cups is here for. It is meant to blow that up to perspective, to blow that up, to get that to permeate your world with all this beauty and love and such. And I look at that. Four of Wands, completion, getting to, this is like, you've gone through the thing and now we're come to rest. We're going in and now we can see, we have like a game plan now. The Four of Wands is, finding that balance again with your energy, coming to that conclusion, like I've sat down, I've mapped this out, now we're getting ready to execute. Maybe you're taking this little bit of time, resting up, get some final things worked out, but this is a card of getting to, once we started permeating that thing, success is around the corner. And again, you don't believe me, here it is. 10 of disc. Bay. Who doesn't love 10 of this? This is a card of wealth, of gain, success, all the things. This is like, imagine you just got 3 sevens on your slot machine and it's just like ching-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Yeah, that's 10 of cups falling all over the place. We're done. You remember these two were skipping, but these two can't even compete because these two are fives. You're a 10, Virgo, and we are spreading that stuff all over this. Ching-a-ling-a-ling. Remember that. All right. That's, now we're getting out of hand. Okay. You know what? Let's move on. I tell you, you'd have thought I wrote this story in advance. Let's get to where your mind's at in this, Virgo. Because you got the Princess of Swords here, the Two of Disc, and the Lust card. Now, with this Princess of Swords, this could be a couple of things. So you remember how I was talking about with either whether it could be you that might be getting in your way of this, that's kind of like, oh, I'm worried about this. What if I can't get this? What if I can't get this? Find a way to make this support me. I can't quite figure out a way to do it. Whatever it is that's getting in your way, that's Princess of Swords. But she lets this types of stuff, these situations here, because let me preface with, she's a smart girl. Love her. Very, very cunning in a very I know sometimes when you use the word cunning, it can come across as like manipulative, and on the negative end, she can be. But just in general, the Princess of Swords is not bad energy. She's like she's quick as a whip. She knows her stuff, but sometimes when she gets locked up in this five of discs, because it all happens to the best of us, we get sometimes when you get trapped up in this five of discs, five of wands energy. Her thing is that her logic gets a little destructive. And what I mean by that is, she becomes her own worst enemy. Because if you can see here, you got her tower. I think her house is on fire. We're not sure. I'm trying not to panic for her, but I really want her to address this fire. And then you got all this chaos kind of going around here. You would think she's in a war zone, but look at her. It's just her in this picture. She's fighting herself. And I feel like that's what, for some, if there's not any outside influences, we can be our own worst enemy. It's myself included. We're our harshest critic. And same with the Princess of Swords. She's a perfectionist. She wants everything to come across right. She wants to get to that end game. She wants her 10 of disc. She was told there's 10 of disc, ace of cups at the end of this. And she's, where's it at? What's taking so long? It's going to require a little patience. Because it's going to take some two of disc, getting used to, and the two of disc is really that getting used to this ebb and flow of stuff. Because once we've discovered our strength, and now we're basking in abundance. But where'd the devil go? Because sometimes when we get comfortable in this abundance, then that's a perfect time. The devil's like, okay, I'll catch them while they're not looking, and bam! Did you learn your lesson from this last one? No? Well, guess what? Bam! And then we're back. But with this two of disc, we don't do that with the two of disc. The two of disc, you've learned to be okay with that ebb and flow, because that's what the two of disc is bringing. It's that being that comfortable with the negative and the positive aspects of life, and being in that sweet spot right in the middle, so that we become less reactive and more proactive. That's what ultimately the two of disc wants for us. And I don't actually know if I completed this thought, but I wanted to mention one more thing with these ones. When it comes to when these issues pop up, when I was saying, actually I did go into that. I just wanted to see, look at that. Look at the devil trying to get me again. It's trying to trap me, Virgo. Stop that. We need strength, Virgo. We need the lust card. Because the lust card is your card of strength, your card of courage, and your card of vitality. Taking this energy and challenge it and channeling it into what you love. That's where I feel like we want to get at here. We don't want to get where I almost got stuck, get trapped in this. And like I said, you saw how sneaky this is. Yeah, I got it on camera, buddy. This sneaky this devil, but all in the efforts of making us better. I feel like at the end of the day, let's not forget that even when that happened, look what came out of it. We had a little fun. It was, you tried, and I do greatly appreciate it. And it's going to try you, Virgo, and you treat it with that same kind of compassion. Thank you for coming, devil. Give it its space, and then let's move it aside. Get back to business. Get back to being inspired. Now, let's go ahead and move on to some what your higher self would like you to know. Yeah. So I have you have the Prince of Cups. I'm living through you. Maybe. You do a better job, Virgo. You got this. The Two of Cups and the Ace of Swords. Now, Prince of Cups. the princes and the queens can represent people in outside of ourselves. So take this energy as it applies. But first, I'd like to apply this to yourself, because with the Prince of Cups, he's a type. Even in, he'll come in, might be worried about he might have some five of disc on the brain, might have some five of wands on the brain, but he's the type that'll suffer in silence. He'll put on a calm facade, totally cool as a cucumber, but I don't know if you can see back here, you see how we got all these vapor clouds in the background. Those are his emotions building up, because underneath, he is exploding, low-key a hot mess, but only low-key. And you know what? We're not emphasizing the mess of that. He's hot, but he's suffering in silence. That's my big thing with the Prince of Cups. It's that sometimes he'll bottle this stuff up, and then what better way? Frustration loves it when you keep things to yourself and you don't share, because then it feels like you're by yourself. Then it's like, oh yeah, come on. It's like imagine the Prince of Cups is a pot. Oh yeah, and then the Five of Wands is just, oh, how appropriate that you're a fire energy too. But dig it, Andrew. I love this analogy. This is a better one. And this is your, it's cranking up the heat, cranking up the heat, cranking up the heat, and then eventually the Prince of Cups is like, and it becomes a whole thing. And it doesn't need to be a whole thing, Virgo. Sometimes it really is just as simple as maybe we need to get some things off our chest. Go talking with someone who supports your dreams and is gonna be practical with it, instead of telling you, oh well, this isn't gonna work, this isn't gonna work. I feel like a better way, and this is just in general. This is you can even try to apply this if people come to you looking for advice about something. You could say. Like, is this something, how would you go about it this way instead of like, oh, this isn't the right way? Hey, have you thought about approaching it this way? Oh, your camera went down. Well, how about you try a different view? Whatever the instance may be, but sometimes a fresh perspective can really help us, take these moments and not make them as big as they really are, so that we can have some of that pressure released off of us and then just kind of relax. There's no need to, because he's a little secretive, he's a good guy, just you don't have to shoulder it all, Prince, and neither do you. And the nice thing about this, Virgo, these cards aren't this whole reading isn't gender specific, so it definitely applies. You don't have to do that. You can show yourself a little compassion, little love, because the Two of Cups is just that. This is a card of happiness, of love, of friendship, all the really nice things. And what I really love to talk about with the Two of Cups is you have this middle flower here. Really, it's like One of Cups. Well, one cup. Jeez, English and math. Okay, moving on, Virgo. With this one, I like to think of this main pillar as you here. Because in order for you to be able to fill these Two of Cups here, you have to start with yourself. It comes with that compassion, showing yourself. This is where, like I was saying, if you feel some love here, it's about time to get in touch with yourself and your higher self. Your higher self has your more than, not to say that everyone is out to get no one has your best interest at heart, but your higher self is really your closest cheerleader, because your higher self is with you all the time and wants you to be compassionate with yourself, to love yourself, because when you do that, again, that permeates throughout your world, and then your cup spills over, and now we got two cups. Now we've made some friends, and now, and hopefully your friends don't jump. Okay, give me 1 second, Virgo. Sorry for that. Oh wait. See, it's gonna be a day, but we're moving along just nicely. Because even though we have troubles, we meet it with that power, with the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords, normally this is my card of with great power becomes great responsibility, because it can be the powers for good or for evil. Just wherever you channel that, be mindful of where you're channeling this Ace of Swords, but it's the root of the powers of air. But it can also be a card of, getting through those troubles, showing strength in the face of adversity, and really, powering through these situations here. And once you realize, I feel like once you realize that strength that you have here to tackle these moments and to find the nuggets that are hidden underneath these, things are going to be gravy, Virgo. It's only a matter of time. You know what? Let's get, we're back, Virgo. So yeah, I hope that this resonated with you. You know, this is it's tough. It's tough energy. Excuse me. I'm like trying to. As you can see, we're still getting ourselves together. But hopefully that I really hope this resonated with you. You know, keep in mind your strength. I feel like remember that love. Keep this in mind. At the end of the day, if it makes you happy, then there has to be something to it. You know, really find out how much you love it, you know, and then don't be afraid to give it all that love. Because if it's something that you hold near and dear to you, that's all that matters at the end of the day. And then once you've shown that, just one more harp on this one more time, once that love starts to permeate in your world, all of this goes away. Even the people, you'll even see that even people will start changing their tone. You know, they'll see like, oh wow, I didn't think you could do it, Virgo, but I knew you could do it, Virgo, and you knew it, you can do it. And that's start there, and then those cups are gonna permeate. Just like, oh, no, I think that's it. Okay, that's it on that, Virgo. That was an awkward ending, but you know what? This has been great. I've learned just as much from this as you have. So I hope this resonates with you. Please like, share, subscribe, all those awesome YouTubey things. And to get a better picture of yourself, find out what you love. You know, check your moon, check your rising, and this week, check your Mars. That's the challenge this week, because it's well. Let me tell you why we're checking Mars, because Mars has popped up in Celestial News Weekly. Yeah, this was you're my first one of the day, so it's still a little discombobulated with everything. So it's gonna be better. I promise. Every day, every moment, we're getting stronger, Virgo. But let me get into this news, cause we got some big ones this week. Couple big ones, and then I'm gonna get into some aspects. Not gonna keep you too much longer here. So with on the 30th today, Mars is going retrograde, and I know we've been hearing about this for a while. It's just like, uh-oh, what's gonna happen? So Mars going retrograde is going to end on January. It's going to go from now until January 12th. So kind of settling, not too bad, but it will be kind of an aggressive time, because Mars itself is a planet of outward activity, runs our sex drive, our aggression, anger, all of that. And with it being in retrograde, you're going to find that there are going to be times of like turmoil, frustration, even maybe some lack of momentum. Definite Five of Wands vibes is what Mars is bringing. You know, so this is kind of like an ideal time to address. You know, sometimes when we get frustrated, we might have that reaction of just like, flip table, and that's what Mars retrograde that's what you would think Mars retrograde would want. It's just us to be at war with each other all the time. But really, this is like an ideal time to examine those impulses. You know, remember this card is a card of blind impulses. Anger is definitely in your wheelhouse. Help me out here, buddy. It's definitely in your wheelhouse, or not yours. In this one's, go away. What I'm trying to get at is, you know, this is a good time to think about how we respond to things, to not go into that like quick knee-jerk reaction. See, even we almost had a little fight there, but we're good. We're still friends. And you know, this can kind of help us. You know, if you're the type that might have a short fuse, you know, this is let's step back. Maybe don't snap people's head off. Let's count to 10. Let's breathe. You know, let's find different, healthier ways to kind of express this frustration, this anger, all of this stuff. Let's do something to get that out of the way. So that's something to focus on while we're in retrograde time. You know, you really should, I'd say, you know, try to avoid as much fighting as possible, really just in life in general. what are we fighting for? We don't need to be fighting. But especially through, now until the 12th, and probably a little bit after that, because you got the retrograde shadow to consider, so that's going to at least be a couple weeks. So let's just shoot for, let's say, February, March. Maybe then we can start picking fights. But let's just not fight. Now, next thing, on the 1st, we have the first quarter moon. And this is a time to think about becoming stronger, adapting to the task that we need to get complete. We just got out of the new moon. We've set goals, and now we're kind of like we're at like our first checkpoint. Where we're kind of like taking stock. We're kind of being, and this is how perfect for Virgo. We're being critical about our approach, making sure that what we're doing, that what we're channeling our love into is not going to hit a dead end, that we're doing all of our necessary steps to keep this momentum going. Because now you've planted this new seed. Oh, and you got a couple aces here. You planted this new seed during the new moon. So now we're getting into, this is a good time. Keep that drive going. Keep that energy. Pour the stuff into what you love, so that once we get to that full moon, everything's going to come to fruition, and it's going to be beautiful. Now, a few more things, and I'm going to get you out of here, Virgo, I promise. Last little bit, we have, and these are, with these aspects, these are going to be more so from the 30th, and they've been affecting a little bit longer, but it's going to be from the 30th at least until the end of this week for sure. You'll feel these energies. But you got Jupiter conjunct with Neptune. And when something is conjunct with another, when celestial bodies are conjunct, this is the strongest blend of energies that planets can express with each other. So this is going to be a great time for creative energy to pursue any kind of like artistic, well, just hang out, to pursue any type of like creative, anything that's going to require that imagination, that inspiration. Man, this is built for you, Virgo. This whole thing, I told you I wrote this whole story for you. This is definitely a time of like you're feeling it. You have like this enhanced imagination. That's probably why this popped up. And this is a good time. Taking that spiritual knowing and all this loving and stuff, and bringing people together, and maybe forming some kind of alliance, to build this, whatever you're building this Ace of Cups foundation on. This is a great time for that. Channel that energy, because it's going to be going through at least till the week. So what better way to know the planets got your back. Now, also, I think I said this all, 30th going through the week. Saturn is squared to Uranus, and with bodies being squared to one another. Okay, I think you can sit down. With bodies being squared to one another, this is a time for the energies are kind of conflicting. So you gotta have to kind of integrate, be a little more flexible, a little more open with these energies. But this is a time to break free from the old and outdated rules, and to start just sort of like out with the old, in with the new. That's what this time is, at least with this energy, Saturn squaring Uranus. Really kind of tapping into that, and to welcome in this. Do I have anything to? No, but that's pretty much what this energy is about. Oof. Last thing, surprise card, and I'm getting you out of here. Jupiter is sextile Pluto. And when something is sextile, the energies they flow together nicely. We're got some groovy vibes going on. And with this energy, you're feeling like you're getting into this like sense of power, command, and like influence of your own. You're forming alliances. You're with like, and not just like forming just like with random people. We're forming with like kindred spirits. Somewhere, people that are really resonating with you, and maybe really resonating with the message that you want to spread. And this is like realizing that collaboration can lead to us thriving, instead of us to just like merely surviving. if that makes sense. This is, you don't have to, oh, where'd it go? This does make sense. You don't have to Prince of Cups it. You don't have to do this alone. Get yourself, surround yourself with those kindred spirits, those people that, I don't want to say competitors, but I don't want to diminish that, because healthy competition is good. But I do feel like it's more so you want people that are going to not push you because they want to. You don't want someone who's going to, like, oh, I'm just trying to be better just to beat you. No, I'm trying to be better so that you can be better, so that I can be better, so that you can be better. You see what I mean? That's where this energy I feel is trying to get you to, finding the people that are trying to elevate you, and not trying to dominate you and try to take this gift as their own and use you or whatever, manipulate. That's not what we're working on here. We're all about forming those good vibes. So hopefully that helps. This whole camera thing has got my word salad, like my word vomit disease, cranked up to the max. But we're powering through, Virgo, because that's what we do. We power through. You and I. Let's pull a surprise card so I can get you out of here. Bam. Four of Swords. Absolutely love it. This is another card of relief. That anxiety you were feeling, relieved. That frustration you were feeling, dealt with. That is the Four of Swords. This is you really coming to that. These energies have been bringing you down, but now we're getting back to balance. We're coming to that. We're getting comfortable in this Two of Disc energy, where it's like, yeah, some stuff is happening. We might have some jumpers. We might have cameras not working. The universe will throw some curveballs at you, but it's just to keep you on your toes, to make it so that, hey, have you thought about doing it from this perspective? This is Four of Swords. This is you getting over those all these fives, because you only got a couple fives. That's really let me say couple fives and the devil, which that can be something. But once you find the strength in all of these, we're gonna find that peace, that truce. So again, I hope this resonated with you, Virgo. Please enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe. Keep raising that vibration, and I will catch you on the next one later. Bye.